Hey guys, so here we're going to learn how to graph polar points. The first number they're going to give us is r. R is going to represent the radius, how far out we're going to go from the center. Okay, so essentially the rings. And then here at 330 is at the angle. So here's 330, so you're going to go out 4 from the center, 1, 2, 3, 4, and put a dot. And that's all you're going to do. Over here, so here's 90, so count from the middle, 3 rings and 90. Okay, I'm just going to get my ruler out for the next question. Okay, here we have a -1, and this tells us we're going to go backwards. Okay, so these count by 15. So here is where 315 is. So instead of going towards 15, we're going to go in the reverse. So that puts us right here. And notice that it's going to be what, 135? So this is going to be equal to the point 1 and 135 degrees. Okay. So let's try this again. So here's 120, and you want to just be careful because I'm guilty of this. Sometimes I get lost with all these lines. So -1, we're going to go backwards. So here's 120 degrees. We're going to go backwards. And see, that's going to put us at 1 and 300. Okay? And the reason why we get this weirdness is because think of this as like a sonar or radar, and things are coming in different directions. So we have to be able to tell location. And there is more than one way of doing this. Okay. Now, what happens if I give you 2 negatives? Okay. Actually, I skipped a problem for you. We'll go back. Okay, so what happens if you get a negative angle? So think back to first semester. When a negative angle is given, we always add 360 degrees. Okay, so that's going to be 2, and I've lost my calculator. Okay, and I get 165. So there's 150, 180, so 165 is going to be right there in the middle. So once we know, count 2 and go there. Okay. Now, we'll get to what happens if we got 2 negatives. So here what we're going to do is add 360. So let's get rid of the negative angle because we can do that very quickly. Okay. And I get 135 degrees. So these two are actually equal. So let's get this. 135 is right here. But because that one is negative, we got to go backwards. That puts me right here. And so this is also going to be equal to 1 and 315 degrees. Isn't this crazy? How one number can be represented, or one point can be represented in so many different ways. Let's do it differently. Let's go down here. Number 3, I'm sorry, -3 and 120. So again, we're going to add 360. 240, I believe. Okay. Now, so let's find 240. And the ruler just helps keep those lines straight. 240. Okay, but we're going to go backwards 3. 1, 2, 3. And that puts me at 360 degrees. Okay. It's a little weird, but it kind of makes sense. Especially when you use the word back up. You don't back up in a boat at all. Okay. I'm going to have to just, okay. So here what I want to do is find 3 pairs of coordinates that are going to give me the same point. Okay, so here, the first one we can do very simply. We're going to take 345, and instead of adding 360, we're going to subtract it. And this gives me 2 and negative 15 degrees. So there's one answer. Now, I want to go backwards. Negative 2, but I need to know what's behind or back opposite from 345. So there's 330, so this is 345. Okay, so we're going to line this up, and what's opposite of this? This angle right here, and that's 165. So that'll be 165 degrees. And then what we can do again is do negative 2, 165 minus 360. Get two negatives. So negative 2 and negative 195. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3. Let's go down here to 300. So again, start off. We're going to subtract 360. And this is going to give me 1 and negative 60. Okay, one answer. Now I need to know what's backwards of 300. So let me come back down here. 300 is right here. What angle is right behind it? It's 120. Okay. Then it's going to be negative 1, and we're going to do 120 minus 360. And that'll be negative 1 and, is that negative 240? Negative 240. Okay. Okie dokie. Here, r equals 2. So I'm going to come over here and we're going to use this. R equals 2. So we're going to graph r equals 2. So what that means is we're going to go to the second radius. I don't care the angle. So we're just going to literally follow that, and that's your graph. It's a circle. We're going to pretend that was pretty. Okay. Yeah, I don't do well tracing lines. Okay. And the other type of question, I'm going to use the same graph, 120 degrees, but I'll just change the color. So if I want you to graph 120 degrees, so you're just going to go find 120 degrees, and you're just going to follow that line. Lord help me. All the way to the other side. So it gets you a straight line. Okay. So I hope this helps. I wish you luck on your polar graphs.